What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, today we're going to be going over Jasmy as this price is building up for what I do believe to be a very explosive move. I'll show you exactly what that move could look like and exactly how you can identify it before it does happen. And so with that in mind, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, guys, don't forget, if you do use my link down in the description below, you can sign up for CoinW, and you can win up to $30,000 of prizes. They're an exchange that you can leverage trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Jasmy, Solana, and many more altcoins. You don't need a VPN and you don't need the KYC, meaning you don't need to give them any of your personal information. You can quite simply just log on, sign up, deposit funds, start trading, and get up to $30,000 in bonuses. So don't waste that opportunity, guys. Go down to that link down in the description and utilize it. There's literally no point of not doing it, okay? So with that in mind, though, let's talk about Jasmy. So as I mentioned before, Jasmy is building up for an explosive move. Okay, now what exactly that move is going to look like, there's really no way of knowing just yet. But what we can do is figure out ways to identify when it's going to happen, okay, or what it's going to look like before it does happen. So what we can see is that Jasmy's price had this vertical move, of course, in February when the market was really rallying. Now, since then, its price has gone rather sideways, bouncing in between 0.027 and, of course, 0.0, let's call it 0.15, okay? Now, some people are going to say this is bad. This is because it's boring and it's sideways and consolidating. What I would say is that this is probably going to serve as one of those zones of accumulation that was very obvious in hindsight. Even if it does something like this, right? Like the price goes out, pulls down, and then goes back up. People are going to look at this as a very obvious zone of accumulation, very similar to what we saw like back here, right? I mean, this was an obvious accumulation zone. So was this one back here, right? And so I think this is going to have served as one as well, but only time will tell. Now, what's interesting, though, is that one way or another, we're going to have to see Jasmy's price either break up or break down. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out, right? I'm not anything special by saying that. It's pretty damn obvious. Now, the cool part about it is, though, with what Jasmy is doing from a Fibonacci-based perspective, we're actually going to be able to get signs and hints before that breakout does happen that will allow us to prepare for it and capitalize on it. And that's how you make money at crypto. You prepare for any outcome so that when anything happens, you figure out ways that you can make money. So let me show you how I'm going to do it. So what I can see here is that what we have on Jasmy from our swing high down to our swing low is a 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone between 2.1 and, of course, 2.4. Okay, now this is serving as your resistance right now. This is your macro or mid to macro range. Okay, we can see between 0.21 and 0.24 that we're getting rejected right here. We're getting rejected right here, and we're getting rejected right here. So this is resistance. That's the range high. And interestingly enough, from your swing low up to your swing high, we're actually getting a Fibonacci support establishment between 0.17 and 0.18, where we can see, of course, this support, and this support. And look at this beautiful support. Look how on a daily basis we would wick down to it, but we're unable to break through it before bouncing back to the upside. And so because of that, you can clearly see from a Fibonacci-based perspective, we have support down here as well. So we have Fibonacci resistance up here. We have Fibonacci support down here. And what I'm under the belief is that at some given point, we obviously are going to have to break one of these, either to the downside or to the upside. And what's cool about it is that we can then take that breakout and use that breakout to prepare for the next move. Let me show you what I will do. So personally speaking, let's talk about the scenario in which Jasmy's price breaks to the upside. If Jasmy's price breaks to the upside, what I'm going to first be on the lookout for is quite simply the daily closes above 0.025. If we're capable of getting daily closes above this level, like we were not able to do right here and not able to do right here, I'm not talking about a wick. I don't care about a wick. Wicks are unimportant. I want to see a close. I want to see these candles actually closing up here. If that's able to happen, I am under the belief that the door is now open for a move to up towards, 0.032 or maybe even up to 4, okay? Maybe up to 4 cents. And so because of that, I will start to prepare some long trades once we do, of course, get the daily closes above 0.025. The only thing is, though, we still do have this resistance sitting right around 0.027, which is where we put in this wick high right here. And so because of that, I may open up some minor long trades once we get the daily closes up here, but I'm not going to leverage them a lot, and I'm not going to add to them or make them a strong position at all until we do actually see the breakout and the clearing of the range high right here, sitting right around 0.027. So maybe price goes up, we get a few daily closes, maybe pulls back a little bit, or just stays sideways. Open up the long trade here, very small, very tiny leverage. Don't fuck around with a lot of leverage right now. There's no reason. Tiny leverage. expecting that Jasmy's price will then look to continue upwards now that this range high is broken. Okay, that would be the goal. Maybe I'll set a little bit of a stop loss a little bit lower down, but that's obviously something we'll just figure out when the time comes. But that's the plan. Open up a tiny leverage trade here, stop loss rather tight. Once its price does break the range high right around 0.027, that's when I would add to that leverage trade and really look for a continuation back up to what, again, I think could be 3.5 to 4 cents. Some beautiful gains to the upside. Okay, that's the plan. Now, let's say if Jasmy's price breaks to the downside. Well, interestingly enough, I'm going to be doing something a little bit similar, just a little different. If Jasmy's price does break to the downside of this range, and we do see its price clear below 0.017, I'm actually under the belief that we would likely come back as low as 0.015, and I'm going to start to do some very, very big buying down here. Okay, I am under the belief that at that given point, we would start to see most of our indicators going off saying that that would be a beautiful time to buy. I think that it's very likely that even if we come back down to this range low, we wouldn't have much further to go before Jasmy does really look to start ramping it back up to the upside, use this higher macro low, and then continue upward. And so because of that, I would be doing way, way bigger buying if we finally do see Jasmy's price break below 0.017. Okay, now at that given point, I am again under the belief that we would also see HG Algo going off. You guys know, of course, that HG Algo is my company's indicator. I can actually pull it up here for you really quickly. This is my company's indicator. We designed it to basically just tell us when the best times to be buying crypto are. And as you can see, the last time that it did go off was way back here for Jasmy, back in these moments. And as you can see, although we did see a little bit of a pullback following that, I mean, Jasmy's price is literally, if you'd have been buying back then, you're up 400, 500%. And I am rather confident, based on the strategy that HG Algo is built around, that if we do see Jasmy's price start to pull below 0.017 towards some of these lower levels down here, that we would see HG Algo going off, indicating some buy signals, and then giving us probably a push to the upside rather soon. And so again, I would be doing some massive buying. Now, guys, don't forget, you can't get access to HG Algo with my link down below. It's my company's indicator. So what I'll do is I'll give you 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, I'll give you a refund within 30 days. No issue. Don't care. You're going to like it. So I'm willing to make the promise, and we'll give you 20% off for the rest of the month of April if you do use the link down in the description below. So go check it out. But overall, at the end of the day, as I mentioned before, my game plan, if we do see the break to the downside here, is to really start buying a shit ton of Jasmy, because I do think this would be the last pullback that we would see before a major push to the upside there. And so because of that, my game plan is rather simple. I'm bullish on Jasmy in the macro. I think Jasmy's going to go up. I think Jasmy's going to hit 10 cents one day. And so because of that, I'm willing to bet on it. My bet, if we go to the upside, is opening up a tiny leverage long trade here, adding on to it once we clear the range here. Okay, if the price pulls back here, I'm doing some very major dollar cost averaging for my long-term portfolio, and I'll be buying more and more and more as this price does continue downward. So one way or another, I'm going to be buying, but the way and the approach in which I'm taking will be different depending on what Jasmy does, and I will continue to update you as this does get ready. So be careful, be ready. We're still in a range right now. We're still consolidating. These are the moments when people are getting liquidated to the upside, liquidated to the downside. So I wouldn't be doing too much right now, but quite simply just waiting this thing out and allowing this range to be cleared before making any major moves. And so with that in mind, I will continue, of course, as I mentioned before, to update you as this does play out. I try to give you at least 4 Jasmy videos every week. So if you do enjoy them, please let me know down in the comments below. You can also let me know by smashing the like button so more people see this video and subscribing to the channel, so I know you never want to miss another one. But overall, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.